You know, I kind of had a script for this whole video, or was making one, but I could never decide on what to actually make it. Or like, I would go back and edit over it, even though it seemed fine. So I'm gonna just say what's off the top of my head, and I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. I want to hit 50 subscribers soon. Whatever I say, it's just my opinion. Don't take it seriously. But Fighter sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. This buff did nothing for him. The quality of life update, Fighter actually got buffed recently, getting 10 more HP and getting debuffs applied to the killer whenever landing the stun. I think this is okay. I don't really care for the debuffs because, you know, you're still not gonna get that stun if you can't get the counter. And for the 10 HP, that's good. He's a fighter. He's gonna be with the killer a lot, so I understand that. But don't get me wrong, landing the stun and the counter is even more worth it now because you get debuffs with your stun. Which I thought it already had because the kit says you get 3 effects applied on the killer. But apparently not. I don't get it anymore. But the debuffs, yeah, they're cool. I don't see the point of adding them. You still can't get the counter off any less easier. So I think that was kind of a pointless buff, in my opinion. I mean, he has it already, so it doesn't matter now. But hey, remove that and make it so counter isn't an actual move, and we're good. Like I would rather the swing just be there in the kit and not even have a second move. So then the swing actually is just normally used. It has a normal cooldown of it going off stacks. I still don't know what those stacks do. Till this day, I still don't know. But okay, this video isn't just about me nitpicking about Fighter again. It's more of like a tier list. Yeah, we're gonna go off the tier list. It's gonna be Fighter against all the 3 killers. Springtrap, Ennard, and the Mimic. Timmy Tickle Time, Stealthy Sammy, and Tough Terry, whatever you want to call the Mimic modes. We're gonna compare those with Fighter because, you know, I don't think I've seen anyone do it, or at least go into that much detail, but I'll explain it myself, man, if no one has it. I'm gonna put this tier list from best mashup to worst mashup, and the first is actually just Ennard. Just Ennard. Like, the killer that got both buffed the most is the weakest against Spider because 3, 2, I don't know if the boop works like that, but like let me explain. He's kind of slow, not in the ground, but like in his animations. His jab is very telegraphed, but like he kind of just leans his arm forward, so it's kind of obvious for the fighter to react. And his grab is, you know, a grab. You can just react from a distance. But other than that, I don't know exactly, but let's just say enters in disguise. I still don't know till this day if you can counter like him in like disguise. And if you, I don't know if you get punished if you do either. Like if you swing at him, would you get like I know if you swing at Ennard, you get punished for hitting him, but you get punished for countering as well. That I don't know, but I don't even think that's even worth it anyway either. But moving on from Ennard, we have the Mimic, Timmy Tickle Time, Stealth Stammy, Tough Terry, whatever you want to call him. It's easier for the fighter to fight Mimic than it is for him to fight Springtrap. Really, just about his M1s, his grab, and that's kind of it. He doesn't really have anything else that the fighter can go up against and use his counter against. So the M1s, he has 2 different kinds. One's in stealth mode, strength mode, and then one in speed mode. The speed mode is the easiest one for the fighter to counter. It's stubbier, doesn't come out as fast, and he doesn't do a lunge either. Mimic actually does like a lunge forward when M1ing. He doesn't do that in speed mode. He just swipes at the ground. So you kind of really gotta be inside of the Mimic when you want to land that counter because the M1 is kind of stubby. But for stealth mode and strength mode, it's pretty normal. Just it is not as slow as Ender's M1. So you do gotta pay more attention, and it's a lot harder to react to, I guess. Nothing too complex, but that's not even the worst of it. What, you thought I was gonna say the worst of it now? Nah, that's for later. What's now is the grab that the Mimic has. The grab is okay. Don't be too close and it is reactable. And be moderate distance from the Mimic. Like, be in his M1 range, but don't be right beside him, I'd say. because he does lunge forward and it lingers a bit when you do grab. So it is possible to, you know, react to it. If you can't tell, there really isn't much to talk about when it comes to countering in this game. It's just reacting and predicting. It's not really innovative for gameplay. They should have just not given him that. I'll probably go into detail what they could have given him instead of a counter for, you know, his way of getting stuns or just in general as a base kit. But Springtrap, this mashup, it's the worst. His M1 is too fast with or without the axe. You're not gonna land that. Maybe without the axe is possible, but that's extremely tight, and you still need to predict, not actually react to the animation. His axe throw. That axe throw is good against fighter. You can counter it if you're up in his face, but you're not gonna be up in his face. Only a dum dum would be up in his face that close, unless you know you don't have a choice and you're out of stamina or something like that. But even so, if you were to be in that position, countering is so 50-50. I'd actually rather take the damage boost and get out of there instead than actually risk countering. But let's just say you do, or he does use axe throw to use it against the fighter. The fighter can counter it like I said before, but let's just say if he misses it and he gets hit by that axe, he's practically dead. You're taking bleeding, you're slowed, he's right beside you. You like dead in like 2 extra M1s if you consider the bleeding that's actually gonna happen. And then you're not gonna lose them unless a teammate bails you out, which it doesn't happen in Bad Night games. That never happens. Mainly pub lobbies, it does happen, and I'm sure in competitive lobbies, I don't know, I've never seen any of those, but in a public lobby, you're most likely dying from that. But let's talk about Springtrap's charge, when you don't have the axe. This move is actually counterable, surprisingly, and it's not that hard to counter because you see a red hitbox all over Springtrap whenever he charges at you. But from what I've seen and experienced, I haven't played him, but I've gone against Springtraps. From what experience, he actually seemed like he canceled his charge, and he got a perfect M1 on me when I thought I could counter. So I don't know if this is true. This is all just me going off experience. But if this is the case, oh boy, I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't think he can cancel it, though. I'm pretty confident. I have to go and fact check myself. But moving on from that, I kind of hope this video would be longer, but due to how boring a counter is, it's pretty actually short. So I'll just talk about how I could improve it, or outright replace it. So for the idea, here it is. Fighter's swing is not based off a cooldown. It doesn't need stacks for the counter, and counter is gone. Obviously, it's terrible. Instead of counter, he actually gets a move that sharpens his weapon. And sharpening this weapon applies debuffs to his swing whenever he wants to use it. And just so you know, the buff where he got debuffs on his swing in the previous patch note, that's removed in this reworked fighter. Just so you know, it's not too busted. He doesn't make things complicated. But yeah, each time he wants to sharpen his weapon, he actually sits in an animation like how healing yourself as medic does, and leaves you vulnerable and you can't cancel it. It's like that. I think that's a good way to make him useful and also give him a chance to be vulnerable, like how weakness does, I ain't a balanced guy, but I can obviously tell when something isn't working, and I think this is a decent step forward. And oh yeah, just for information, how medic makes noises when he heals himself or themselves? Yeah, the fighter has this too, but it's like a loud sharpening sound, like you're using a knife or like a stone to sharpen your weapon, like your axe. I don't know how a crowbar would work when sharpening it, but that's none of my business. I'm just here for giving reworks to the kit, not to determine how things work. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And I hope you enjoyed playing fighter and not playing fighter. I'm gonna go play customer. It's a lot easier and better to play. See ya.